Well, howdy, y'all, and welcome to another electrifying episode of the High Voltage Live Show. I'm your host, Willie Snyder from NEC Code, coming to you live from the Mile High City in Denver, Colorado. I'm joined by my awesome partner in crime, Mr. King James Stallcup, over there, Big Sky Country, Texas. Give him an old hook 'em horns over there, the old Texas horns over there. And, awesome, we already got some people popping up in the house. We have David Engelhardt, Mr. E.
Got something to show you tonight, David. David, I got something to show you. Got to stay on.
Oh, dude, you're going to love this. And Mr. John Reitz, awesome. Thanks for popping in.
Like what I'm showing tonight, brother.
John's gonna be blown away too. I was really impressed, James. You're really kicking butt over there, getting some stuff done. I'm really impressed with it, and like I say, thanks everyone for joining us every week and just hanging out with us. And we have a special Willie Quiz tonight. We'll try to have some guests on, and we'll see if they pop in for the old Willie Quiz. It'll be about 7 p.m. my time, 8 p.m. James's time. So we'll try to run it about right then, but we'll see. We might be in the middle of something, but we'll try to get it rolling.
Well, folks, I'm ready to start this show off and show y'all. Last week I showed quite a bit, but there have been major changes. As we've delved deeper into the learning platform, I've learned a few new things here and there. But the first thing I want to show is I'm going to play a video to show you. Well, you're going to be even more impressed after you see what I'm about to show you. So I'm going to show you the video.
Dun. Oh, Daniel's lurking. Welcome in, Daniel.
He has tail between his legs all week. So he might go whip my rear end this week.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, like I say, I'm going to show y'all a video. This is and I'm going to show y'all the pages and stuff. I've already got all the state pages done, ready to go. So when I start getting submittals in and all that, getting approvals, you'll see it. We're updating the videos. I want to show everybody what one of the new videos is going to look like. I showed it to Bill before we come on. Bill was like, man, that's freaking dope. So
it is.
I'm going to show everybody what it looks like and give you an idea. Now, I want you to remember this video, once I put it in and I build it out for the courses and stuff, anywhere when we get to the illustration part, you'll be able to click any of those where those sections or table numbers are, or even standards, that a section to a standard could be OSHA, NFPA 70, 70B, 780, whatever. You'll be able to click at, and that section will pull up for you. But with that said, I want to show you the new video that's going to be going in the presentations. And this particular one is for the 2023 NEC changes. Here we go.
A new paragraph has been added to 240.4b that states, the next, higher standard overcurrent device rating, above the ampacity, of the conductors, being protected, shall be permitted, to be used, provided, all of the following conditions, are met. Subdivision B1, states that, the conductors, being protected, are not part of, a branch circuit, supplying, more than one receptacle, for cord and plug connected, portable loads. Subdivision B2, states that, the ampacity, of the conductors, does not correspond, with the standard ampere rating, of a fuse or a circuit breaker, without overload trip adjustments, above its rating, but, that shall be permitted, to have other trip, or rating adjustments. Subdivision B3, the next higher, standard rating selected, does not exceed, 800 amperes. If the overcurrent protective device, is an adjustable trip device, installed in accordance, with 240.4b1, b2, and b3, it shall be permitted, to be set, to a value, that does not exceed, the next, higher standard value, above the ampacity, of the conductors, being protected, as shown, in Table 240.6a, where restricted access, in accordance, with 240.6c, is provided. This revision recognizes and permits an adjustable overcurrent protective device, such as a circuit breaker, to be used, provided the protection does not exceed the next higher standard overcurrent device rating. The last sentence is modified for compliance with the NEC style manual, and to clarify that all of 240.4b applies. A revision has been made to clarify that an adjustable overcurrent protective device, such as a circuit breaker, is used. The protection shall not exceed the next higher standard overcurrent device rating.
That's awesome,
Okay.
bro.
Now, let me
I like
explain
it.
that. When you go through that, at the very first, when it pulls up the first one, it talks about the new 2023 NEC text. And I've got little bullets there. It tells you anything in yellow is new text. So you know what's going on. Then we put in the first revision for the code making panel substantiation. Then we did if there is a first or a second. Then we did the second revision in there, and then we had the final analysis where we go and explain it with an illustration so you can follow through and see exactly how we came up with the change, what the interpretation was of the code making panel, and we correlated at the end. So you get everything right there. I've never seen that in any other code change seminar, anything like that. So you're going to have all that information at your hands. I mean, it's quick, fast, and everything. Now, with that said, I want to show everybody. I'm going to go over share screen here. I want y'all to.
I don't know, man. I'd still be waiting for someone to show something a little better, because they promised it was coming, but I don't know. That's gonna be tough to beat, man. Honestly.
Well, the thing that's interesting is we have done a lot of changes to the way that we want everything to look. We want everybody to come on, and when they see things, they're like, there was a lot of work that was put into that. Now, to get to this, and eventually, when I get ready, I will bring us on, and we'll do a Sunday podcast where I go through and show how to use the courses and stuff once they're built out. I expect all of that to be getting pretty close to around November for the code changes. And all them videos are going to look like that. Then you got there's so much that's a whole different thing than what I'm going to show you tonight, because that's another module that's built out. All right, now here.
Didn't you already have a 2020 code change?
Yeah, but what we're doing now is above and beyond what we've done before. So now this is what it's going to look like when you come to the main page that's going to be on the site. You can get started now right here. This is just where you sign up and everything, and we keep you updated, things that are going on, or you can just be on here and see everything, just whatever you want to do. This one, we talk about why you want to choose our education and all of this. There's just a lot of things in here that we just sort of explain, but we go in much more deeper detail than that. Then when you get over to right here, this are sort of like our services. So we talk about our publications, the online courses. Any one of these you can click and go see. If you want to, say you wanted to look at special expert testimony, I want to show this because we put a lot of work into this. When you come over and you look at this page, we come in and we got it set up here where you can just contact us. But right here, this is where we get into our special expert testimonies that we do all the time. And this goes in, tells you how we set this up. We do a pre-engagement phase, then we do a case analysis. And basically what we tell you is if we can help you or not. If you're wanting us to lie for you, that ain't gonna happen. We're gonna tell the truth. Then we get, if you case analysis you want us to, then we do our technical evaluations and give our analysis and opinion. Then we do our report preparation. And then after that, like I'll be here pretty soon, 2 different times I'll be doing depositions to get ready for trial preparation if it goes that far. And if it does, we give our expert testimony, and then we do our post-testimony support after that. All right?
Yeah, wasn't that fire that was like the auto parts or like the auto salvage yard or something?
No, what it was over in Grand Prairie. Is a big fire that was over there, and they had a whole bunch of stuff that was underneath some overhead lines, utility lines, and we're going through researching, but you can only go up so high. You have to have a clearance from that. And we have a feeling they stack too high, and then you get that flashover voltage to it, and that's what caught it on fire, we think. So We're still going through all of that. So,
nice.
But this gets into our consulting services, and basically when you look at this, we get into our initial phase, project planning, site evaluation, data collection, all of this stuff. We do all kinds of stuff. And even when we go out there, we still even go on some of it, and we do training and education. Like one I'll give you, there was a product that we were working on, and they had us working with UL on it, and it had to deal with the hazardous location industry. So we were in there working on that, and after we did it, they wanted us to give training and education on it, which was a 4-hour class that we developed for that. So this sort of goes in, talks about some of our consulting services, and then this here is where you get into the training portion, and you can go in. We have introduction here. We tell you we've been doing this over 50 years. We're internationally known for our publications training, and we do training. It can be classroom, webinar, online, whatever. And we've got all the stuff here for you to look at for that. So say you wanted to look at online training, come over here, click this. It tells you just a quick synopsis about this. Okay, so it's just a little something that goes in and lets you know about us, what we do and everything. Okay, now another thing that we did down here that is pretty cool, I want to show everybody this one. Here's where you go to your online courses, and you can go over look at this. And I've got another thing that's built out here that comes in and talks about this. So if I want to know how they go about curriculum development, we even tell you we can even customize your course content however you want it. We can do it. All right. And then the one that's really important is the interactivity overload. When you click that, this comes down and tells you a lot about what's in the course. Okay. Now, this is on most pages, is this right here. This is your courses. This is even on the first page. So when you're looking at this, you can come in and say, I want to see what free courses you have, which we'll have, a few of those. So you come in here right now, I just have the death match. The one you're going to be most important in, you can come in here and say, what courses do I have? Okay. These are ones I've uploaded for me. Now, John Harris, you'll like this. When you come over here to categories, see where it says instructor presentation series? Come in here, here's all your different presentation series. Now, when I bring this up, this is going to have a 50% off thing on it. So say if you wanted generators, wherever, you'll be able to get that at 50% off. And I'm going to show you what it looks like. Now, I'm going to go over here. I'm going to enroll in this. I want you to see just what I've done to this. Okay.
Hey, I was wondering, did that free Stallcup key come through for me yet? I didn't see it in my email yet. So.
Well, I'm already loaded up on this. So when you come in and you look at this right here, here in the very first one is all your publications. Now all of these are interactive. You can do whatever you want to do. But the one John then would be interested is here. Say I wanted to look at motor presentations and say I'm doing something on transformers. All right. I'm just going to click this transformers and it's going to take you over to the player here. Everything pulls up. But here's your transformers. As soon as it pulls up here, these files are large, let me tell you. Now here's your presentation. All right. So you can sit here and come up here. You can go up to the top of here next. Wherever you want to go, we'll just go to next. And as these illustrations start pulling up, which are fully in color, and another thing that's pretty cool right over here, I can click on the side over here. Come on, there it goes. And right over here, I can just go right here real quick. So I may want to just come right here and look at this one, and I've got my first part of chapters here, and let's just say I wanted to look at overcurrent protection for individual motors. You can click here. This will take you over to your presentation, and right here, this is where one of my favorite parts here, because I can go right below this to the next one, and here's all my different sizes. So let's say I wanted to size the maximum size inverse time circuit breaker. All right. Here's the illustration right here that you're going to be looking at. Then from there, you go to the next one, and here's your problem on how to do the calculation. Now, all of that is cool, quick access. You're running through it. You've got a presentation you're throwing up on the screen, and it's all self-contained within a learning management system for you. Now, as I showed last week, right over here, you'll see it's blank now, but these are learners. You can come in and let's say John, for instance, he wanted just for his class, and he calls me and says, hey, I want this course here for my learners. And even though he has this program, he just wants to connect in with his learners. Okay. So what I would do here is I would set him up, and I'd clone the course, and then I'd give it another name. Okay. So I might say John Aries, Apprenticeship 01, let's say. And it wouldn't be.
Oh, you're meaning John Reitz.
Oh, John Reitz. Yeah, John Reitz. That's right. Well, John, if you're listening, you come in and you look at this, and then you can just have your students in that program. It's a public course, a private course. Nobody knows about it, and you're connected with all your learners teaching all this. Then right here, you go to the Discuss tab, and right here, He can leave messages for them. They can converse back and forth with him. He might be looking at something and showing a motor that's like that, and this is how we went about calculating that motor. He may show a picture of that motor. He may have another illustration he wants to, or it could be a file he wants to attach about inverse time circuit breakers. And then from here, he may say, all right, well, I think you learned that. He may want to ask them a question to see if they can calculate it. He can have a question here, or he can start a poll on anything he wants, that he wants to ask them. Okay? So that is going to be your instructor presentation series. Now, since that time, I've done a little bit more work towards looking at the High Voltage Live podcast, okay? And also with the NEC Deathmatch. So as you're scrolling down through here, you've got all of this stuff. And as I said, all the pages are going to have these courses on here with the categories for quick access. And then here's the Deathmatch, and here is talking about the High Voltage Live podcast. Now I'm going to show the High Voltage Live podcast real quick. And what's going to happen here, you can become a subscriber here, but I'm also going to have some tabs that are going to set up underneath this for each month, and I'm going to have cool little icons and stuff, and I'm going to link them straight to the YouTube site. But if you want to go see it, you can go right here and just become a subscriber, and it'll take you straight to the High Voltage Live podcast. Okay? Nice. And then we tell you and there's a few more tabs I'm going to add in here. I just did these quickly. I've got the myth of the week, topic of the week, tool of the week, and the Willie Quiz. And then we'll put NEC question of the week and all the rest of them in there that we're doing.
Nice.
And then when you come back here and you go over to the death match, I'm going to show everybody. I know Dave's interested in this. So we tell you to enter the contest at your own risk, trying to be funny, And then when you get over here, I've set up to tell you exactly what's taking place. I tell you about the questions. There's 20 questions and 4 calculation problems every month. I tell you the time frame, length of the contest, the total test score combined, and if there's a tie at the end, and all the way that'll be split if it, we do an extra test and it is tied. Now, there's going to be another thing I'm going to put right below this. I reserve the right to whoever I want to enter the contest, because I can tell you there's a few that are not going to be allowed in the contest, and I do reserve that right, and I'm writing it up right now as far as legal aspects. So I will say that, but pretty much there's only a couple. Now, when you go over here to the October questions, this is going to everything you go to, all your courses and everything are going to take you to the course page. Okay, so you'll have a course page here that talks about everything, and I can just continue right here, or I can scroll down here and I can just click in right here where we have the October questions. Now I am going to tell you, I'm going to have these set up, and all the NEC for 9 months, all your questions will be listed right underneath here for October questions. Okay?
Nice.
So when I click this here, this is what it's going to look like. So I've done a little bit of massaging on this, fixing it up a little bit nicer, put in here the little question marks to give a cool effect, I guess you could say. And then when you get ready to start, it'll pop up, and then you're going to see over here, this quiz is an hour long. Okay? As they get much, much harder with harder calculation problems, it'll probably go to an hour and a half. Okay? So you just come through here, answer, go to the next one. Come through here, you look at this, answer, go to the next one. So you got an hour to do every bit of that and answer all the questions here. Okay? And then after you're finished, you'll submit, and it'll tell you what your score was. All right? So I hope everybody likes what we're doing with that so far. Now, I've got one other thing I want to show here for what we've done with all of this. And this is where you get in and you're going to look. The first series go around that you're going to see is publications. And we'll have the majority of those. So right here, you can come up here to publications. You can go to the full publication series or the instructor presentation series, or you can just come right down here and you can click here. I've got links all over the place. So let's just say I click and look at the publication series. Now, right here, we're going to give you an introduction about us. We're going to talk to you about our curriculum development, what takes place from the course content creation, making sure to the best that we don't make even a one number wrong, compliant with the standards, and that includes all sections and tables, and then the instructional design and how we go about making it interactive and based on NEC, NFPA standards, and OSHA standards. And then you get into the publications. We talk about the new fully colored illustrations, all the loops that we put in there to take you back and forth to everything. And then the thing that we're really known for is our step-by-step calculations. Then you drop down here, and this gets to be pretty cool because you'll have the full publication, or we're going to have them divided out. So let's just say I wanted to come down here and I wanted to look at motor series. Now, when I design that page, it's going to look like this one right here. That's going to be in the full publication series. And this will give you an idea of what it's going to look like. So up here, we give you a lot of information about the different type of, the way we designed our publications and presentations and stuff. And then let's say I'm looking at this and I want to look at the generator here. All right, so I'm just going to tell it to take me there. And it's going to take you this page. And then you'll see we'll have a 50% off discount code on this when we first come out with it. The regular cost on it's $99.95, so that sort of gives you an idea. Now, anywhere on this page, say that's not what you're interested in, you can come here and you can pick whatever you want here in the categories, okay? And it'll show you. So if I wanted to look, you're an instructor, here's your instructor ones that are already ready, okay? And then you can enroll in it, do whatever you want. And as you go down through this, we take you through, we show you example illustrations. So if you want to look at them, you can see how detailed they are, how new the illustrations look. Matter of fact, we encourage you to go compare them to anything out there. This one here, this is really a good illustration where it's showing you about us classifying as separately derived or not separately derived. So all of this will be in here, and then we show you the extensive coverage of everything that's covered here. So you come down here for this series, these are all the things that are covered for generators, transformers, and motors. So it just goes on and on. So we put a ton of work in to hopefully everybody liking the way that this is laid out. Another thing that I will show here is the state CEU. I'll do this for you, Bill, since you're in Colorado.
All right.
You'll see.
I'll give you an old hook 'em horns for the Mile High City.
All right. So what you're going to see, I've made quite a bit of changes here. And we're showing you it's all going to be based on the Stallcup's NFPA 70, the electrical code changes publication. That video I showed at the start is going to be part of this. And this comes down and this tells you everything that is required by the state, just a quick synopsis on this, and then you can come in and you can purchase it for the price. It will be $129.95. I'm not even going to put 50% off on this or anything. I might do it. Regularly, it's $249.95. I'm charging half of what everybody else is charging. So
does it tell you how many code changes that's supposed to come with?
It will. Well, what it does tell you here is that you got to have 24 hours,
Okay.
complete
So
24
it's
hours.
only 4 hours code changes.
Yeah. Now, if you look here, here's all the states right here. This is what we've been working on this week, getting all this done. In the very
Wow,
last,
didn't you say you had like 39 states or 29 states or something like that?
yeah, I don't remember how many exactly it is. We have taken and we put a lot of work into it. We created cool little icons here for the states and everything. And then right here, I've done all the states with a back on it where it's on wood. So it looks, I thought it looked pretty cool doing them all that way. And then
Yeah.
you just come in here and they tell you everything you need to know about every state and what the requirements are going to be and everything. And that pretty much, oh, and I got one other thing here. When you come up here, you have the community right here. And as you will see in the community, here's all your course discussions here that you can go in and have. Now, these are listed, but when it goes to private with somebody else, then this won't be listed here. Okay? So you'll see course discussions in here for publications, then you'll see them for online courses. It just automatically builds these if you want to go in and look at any of these. Then there will be different posts that'll be set up, and I will have categories that are built up. And based on the categories, we will tag them here. So if I had one say grounding, anything that's a discussion on grounding, you can click that and it'll take you to all the grounding topics and discussions that are being talked about. We also
So can you have like a private account in there and a public? Can you have both at the same time?
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. When it's a private course or publications, nobody has access to that except for who has been, deemed part of that group. It's like being part of a group. Nobody else is part of it. Okay.
Yeah, that's a good question, David. I think Florida might be in there.
Yeah, it was. That's the one I'm gonna work on right there. You'll see it. Here's Florida. So state of Florida, when you come over here, I've got it in here. I've got to do Florida building code, and I got to do working compensation, workplace safety, etc. I'll do 70E on that. Then I'll go in and do the Florida building code and put the rest of this together, which will be 11 hours on code changes. And when I come out with it, it'll be $59.95. I've already set all the prices and everything for it. Now, the other cool thing, you got the blog here, and we've set this up. I've redone this. I've rebuilt out the way that the layout is going to look. It used to go horizontal. I've built everything vertical out now. I think it looks much better in my opinion. So if I wanted to look at, say, third-party certified, oh, and another thing I'll point out before I do that, here's all your courses down here once again that you have access to. So it's all quick and easy for you. Then I want to look at this here, just click it, and then it'll pull up. If you want further information from the publication it comes from or the courses, I will have direct links to that. So like this one here, for further information, this will come from the design book. That's where we did it. And you'll see all the text and everything's written here with the illustrations. We'll have blogs like that. Dad's really looking forward to doing that. And then if you want to know who's involved, you can come over here to other students. And when you come to the other students right here, this is where you can come in and you can follow and link in with other students and have discussions and things like that back and forth. And then if you want to get to everything real quick, you can check your inbox to see if anything's been sent, because I will send out emails to everybody from here, new messages when we got new products coming out. And then here you can go to your profile, and this is where you have quick access to everything that you've already purchased. So up here it tells you, like, I've done 3 courses, that's 20 hours. I hadn't spent 20 hours on the course. That's 20 hours I've been developing. So You
Right.
come in here, tells you any posts that anybody reacted to. You can go in and check on that. Somebody may have made a comment on something that they tagged you. It'll let you know here. You'll have your achievements here, all your certificates and anything like that. And then these achievements I'll be building in. You'll have what they call gamification. I'll set in here where you get certain badges for certain things you complete. Then you'll have your activity here, what's been taking place, polls. So in other words, if you create a poll for uh, uh, a private course, you could go here and you could check that and it'd show you what took place in that poll. Okay. And then if you want to go to something real quick, all that's set right here. So you can just, instead of going through all that, just come to me, go to your profile. Here's all your courses and everything listed for you.
Right.
So that is what everybody is going to get to see here pretty soon. And we will have, I mean, I think I'm already getting all kinds of calls. When's this going to be ready? You know, and I've even had calls from apprenticeships and everything, junior colleges. They're all excited about it. They said we haven't seen anything where we can contain and keep track of our students like this, and they're all excited. And they said it's one thing to have, you know, the publications and the presentations and everything we're doing. They're real excited because of all the tracking opportunities that are there and how you can actually take now and set everything up very simple with your students. Oh yeah, and I'll tell you another thing that's going to be really cool about everything that we're doing with all of this is if you want something specific. Oh, thank you, David. I told you it's coming, brother. It just takes time to develop all this. But one of the cool things.
Dude, even Daniel's on board.
Well, thank you. I've worked very hard on this. I mean, a lot of hours. I mean, you're looking 10 years of study, learn, and everything to get me to this point. But one of the things that we also can do, if you have something specific, you like, let's say an instructor calls me and he says, we want this, 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 and this. They may have a suite of everything. And that's another thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to have the publications and the online courses, certain ones, I'm actually going to put them in bundles that you can purchase, or you can just do a monthly subscription. Most people like the monthly subscription, so I'm going to do, I've already been asked that by quite a few people, matter of fact. So I'll do a monthly subscription. If you go in there and you can pick what you like, and you can call and say, hey, I want you to customize this. Also, and this is what I'll tell you, I'll customize the class for you, depending on the length, but it might be, say, an extra $50 to $100. It could be up to $200, depending on how much you want. But if it's a quick course, I can take and pull the things that you want exactly, and I can pull those out, because the way that I do this is I build every slide out individually. So once I have everything built out individually in my other software I use, I can go in and select that and put it in the file. Then I can drag it where I want to put it in place that you wanted. And then you can have an online course like that that's specific to what you want to teach and the certain things that are there. You might not want
Right.
this, but you want this. I can do that for you. So
are we talking an official start date of the death match, October 1st?
I'm going to try. I think it's going to be more November, because I'm seeing how long it takes me to build this out. You look at all that. I just built all of that out, and it takes me some time to do all the linking and everything back and forth and build out, to do like all the generator series, the transformer series, the motor series. And then we're working now, we're going to get the journeyman and masters done. Then we'll have the exam prep series. And once I build all those out, those are all going to be publications for
Nice.
sale online with all the interactivity and everything. Then after we get that, then that's when we start doing the online courses and everything. And the first one that's going to be done is going to be the 2023 National Electrical Code changes. And that the reason it's going to be done first and foremost, because that is going to be submitted to the states for state licensing updates.
Nice.
And
All right.
that is what we have put together. And I hope everybody likes what we're doing. If you see something you'd like to see us do something a little bit different, just shoot me a message, let me know, because I don't catch everything, nobody does. And but 10 years of tinkering back and forth and making all the mistakes that I've made left and right, now I think I've got it down. And from where it was 3-4 years ago, look at it now, there is a major update and improvement on the learning management system and the publications too. So I hope everybody likes it.
You gotta think we've been developing the death match for like 4 years, and the whole thing it sounded real easy when we first started talking about it, and then we started realizing how hard it was to get everything right. But we worked through a lot of bugs, and we really appreciate guys like David Englehart kind of powering through with us, being patient, because James lost his whole LMS one day, and
yeah,
it was rough.
That was hard on me, but I've always said sometimes things happen as a blessing in disguise. And now that I'm seeing what we're doing and everything, I'm amazed and impressed with the learning management system and the things I'm allowed to do and putting certain JavaScript coding in to do this and that. And,
right.
It's just like when I was talking to you the other day, just putting the background to the NEC Deathmatch questions and making that look different than anything that's ever been out there. I think all those little things and improvements just give it another feel and look that people are not used to seeing, and it's specific to that. Well, when I do like the generator questions and stuff, guess what? It's going to be specific to that, and I'll have a background that goes with it. Everything's going to look really, really cool. Matter of fact, I'll give everybody an example. Let me go back real quick. Now I'll show everybody what I'm talking about. So, say you're looking at this, and let's say I come down here. Look at these icons. Well, let me go to publications here, because you'll see most of it here. All right. Now, one of the cool things is these are the type of icons that I've built out. And you'll see each one has a color. It's specific to what we're doing in that particular one. And these are the type of backgrounds that are going to be there when I build out these specific questions.
Oh, that sucks, Cameron. Well, I wish you a good stream there, Cameron.
But that gives everybody a great idea what we're going to be doing and why everybody will love the feel and the look of it.
Oh, Cameron, you're asking if you can join.
Okay, you just got to send them the link.
I know. I don't know if I have a way to send you the link, Cam Dog. So I guess I could send it to him.
Let's send it a message or email or something.
Yeah,
all right.
Messenger.
But anyway, if you like what we're doing, just let us know in the comments. If there's something you see that you might like to see added or something, put it in the comments. Let me know. That's why we do the podcast, so everybody can also, it's one thing, we're all learning new things and stuff, and we do all these different things. But it's also for you to converse back to us to let us know something that you may want to see. Okay?
Yeah, and that's awesome, John. We really appreciate that we have people initially coming in and, checking it out and kind of, giving us feedback, kind of, powering James to get better. Because
since he's talking about it, I want to show you something real quick. All right? I think you'll find this interesting.
Yeah, if you get the link from Adam, Cam, jump on in. I'm
going to go here right to this exam prep. I want to show you something there. Now, you can go in and look at these as you scroll down. We tell you all about it and all that crap. But here's a good example. Let's just say I click one of these illustrations I want to show you here. Now, for the publication, you can just go in and fill these out. I've got the answer key. But when I get to the online course portion, anywhere that's in the video that I will produce that goes with it, or in the illustration, you can hover above any one of these sections, click it, and it'll pop up, and then you can come back. Now that's cool. It takes a lot of time to develop all those layers and everything to make this work. But one of my favorite features of all time through the learning management system and the course development and everything is this right here. Especially when you're dealing with the calculation series, you're dealing with the journeyman exam prep or the master exam prep. Anywhere in the illustration, you see these blanks here. Then we got A, B, C, D, F, G, all the way to O here. Now, what you can do in the online course, in the illustration, not the video, you can take and click this blank right here and fill in the blanks. So say I was looking at this and I want to know what the amperage is. Now, what is going to be cool about this is in the course player that's being built for this, over on the left-hand side, I'm going to have an NEC loop there. Okay, a lot of this stuff in here is additional information, all these sections and stuff, which we're the only ones that do this. Then you're going to have an NEC loop here, and say you're looking at step 1 and you want to determine what the full load current is of the motor. Well, I'm going to have in there 240.4G will be your start. And basically that's going to take you to table 240.4G. And it's going to tell you anytime you're sizing the overcurrent protection device, you're going to go down and look at your motors and motor control circuits, and it's going to tell you to go look at all of these parts. Okay. Then when you go over, the next section you're going to look at is 430.6A1, and it says anytime you're sizing your conductors or overcurrent devices, it says to look at tables 430.247 through 250. Now, in the video, just as I'm explaining it to you right here, is how that video is going to sound. Okay, but you're going to work this first, and then I'm going to give you additional information explaining how you would look at this. So then, knowing that this is a 3-phase motor, you're going to look at table 430.250, and then we're going to have that right below 430.6A1. Then you know where to go get this information in order to take and fill in these blanks for determining what the amperage is. And then we'll take you down to the next portion here, step 2, and we'll say you need to go look at 430.52C1, and then we're also going to have table 430.52C1 to get the percentage for this for the largest motor, which is 250%. And then you'll see from 430.62A, all the rest of the motor loads are added at 100%. Okay?
Right.
So this is a level of interactivity that I have yet to, I've never even seen that kind of interactivity in any courses. And I think once people get out there and start seeing, I think the word of mouth is going to get out, and they're going to say, hey, you're studying for your exam prep. This is what you need to go look at. And we will have that still half the cost of what everybody else is charging. So I hope everybody enjoyed it, because that's what we're doing right now. And and another thing, I also will have in those courses, if you buy the course, you also will have the interactive PDF that goes with it.
Nice.
So,
well, I don't know if you knew about this, James, but there have been a lot of new products coming out, and there's actually some new wire pulling soap that they have out, some wire pulling lube, and use it for the meme of the week.
I've seen this meme, and I know exactly what it is. Okay, here we go. Meme of the week.
Looks like they got to put the old hot toy on it and pull that thing through, you know.
That's funny.
Yeah, they're probably making a lot of money out that. Yeah, I don't really know. I don't really know, Cameron, where to find that at. I'll have to look. If I don't get it to you this week, Cameron, I will definitely make sure you get the link next week. Like I say, I send them out right when I get them from James, and so it's kind of hard for me to send them out like live. I'll try to do what I can, but I can't get on my channel while I'm live on my channel.
Yeah.
So,
right.
we'll make sure we get you in. But I don't know. Did you get a chance to see the myth?
Yeah, I saw the myth, and I know what you were trying to do.
Did you think it was all right?
Yeah, I know what you were trying to do, but
all right.
There's exceptions down there and stuff. Well, let's just go ahead and cue it up, and then we'll talk about it.
Let's roll it.
It's time for Myth of the Week.
All right, we had an awesome myth this week. I'm digging deep into the myth bank and going into Myth of the Week number 115. And this is true or false. Class 1, Div 2 boundaries. A conduit seal shall be required within 10 foot of the boundary for each conduit run leaving the location. And I put where make or break contacts are outside the classified location, but that's irrelevant. And and so this is a true statement. Like I say, James said there's actual exceptions to it, so it could be considered false if you're throwing in those exceptions. But like I say, the reason I wanted to do this was because we had a time where one of the inspectors out in the patch said that we had to have a seal op anytime we went underground because we were changing location. And so, for example, if let's just say this is a class 1 div 2 area here, then and we were exiting the class 1 div 2 area and then entering another class 1 div 2 area, we would not need conduit seals because we're going from a same classified location to the same classified location. So that would need to be conduit seals, and regardless if you go underground or not. So that's the whole reason I wanted to run it. And like I say, this one, a lot of the hazardous location stuff's like really misunderstood, and so I really like doing hazardous location with you, James, because I know you have a really good understanding of it. And like I say, this has always been kind of a myth where people just say, you know what, let's just put seals on there just to be safe. Well, sometimes you could spend thousands of dollars in raceway seals if you get too out of control.
Sure. So, one of the things, like you were saying, Dad and I have been doing stuff for the oil and gas industry, chemical industry, and everything for 30 years. And, we actually wrote the inspection report for the Alaskan pipeline at their pump stations and here in the United States too. And, everything's a little bit different states than compared to when you're in Alaska because it's so cold there. It's done a little bit different. But, one of the things that we were making sure of, we also worked with the people to prevent corrosion and stuff on the pipes and things like that. So that was really interesting. But during that time, we've done a lot of classes with them where we go in and we would talk about the conduit seals, and you heard me make this statement many times before. Most people, when they hear it, they automatically think 10 foot. Well, 10 foot, what that really has to deal with is when you're going from one location to another. That's what the 10 foot really is. Okay. So, in other words, they want a seal there in order to keep any type of sparks or anything that could travel through a pipe, and also gas that would fumes that would travel through the pipe. Okay, that's what it's really for, to keep an arc or spark from igniting something from some fumes and vapors and stuff that had built up in the pipe. Okay,
that was really interesting too, because when we were out there, we were using some of that CLX cable, and I was actually surprised. I never had to seal a cable before. Yeah. And so that is a really good point about the gas traveling inside the cable. Like, I never would have thought about that.
You got to seal that cable different. You got to seal the cable different. Yeah. Because of the vapors and stuff that can actually travel through the cable itself. So, and that they had a big change on that, was about 2014 or 17, something like that, where they come in and started talking about sealing that cable and everything. We had probably 4 different illustrations that we went over in our publication to explain all of that. And, I'll tell you another really good, in my opinion, that would be a great myth. Okay. Say somebody, you come in and that you ask them, you're in a hazardous location. You determine the point of the location. How far is that distance from that location? And I'll tell you, because I've done this so many years, a lot of people automatically come in and they'll say, "Oh, that's easy. That's 20 foot." That's not true. That's where you get into, like, where you have a gasoline station, you got a pump out there, they'll tell you out to 20 foot, up to 18 inches. Okay. That is a given for a specific type occupancy. Okay.
Right.
And that's why when you get to chapter 5 of the NEC, it talks about special occupancy. That's a special occupancy. But when you really get in and you start taking and you figure out, like if you're in the oil field or something, what they're going to look at is they have to determine the magnitude that's within that conduit. In other words, what is the flow through there? And if you got a leak, depending on the pressure that's built up, that thing could be, it could be from a simple drip to spewing out 200 foot. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's what they have to determine. And in order to figure that stuff out, you need to go over and look at NFPA 497 to determine what that distance is, based on looking at your table 4.41 and getting into the different chemicals and everything, knowing the type of chemical that's there and the group that it is, what its upper and lower flammable limits are, because that helps determine how high up the location is. I mean, there's so much you have to look at over there in order to determine that location. Okay.
Yeah, and one of the things that I noticed too is there's a lot of people that misinterpret, because we were doing one, it was like a storage tank area, and the inspector shows up and he's like, "Nope, everything you guys got's wrong. Anything inside this tank area is class 1 div 1. Anything out here is class 1 div 2. And I said, I'm fine doing whatever you need done, but I just need to see this on paper, and you're going to need to let me know what all these classifications are so we know how to wire it, Mm-hmm. And he went and got all the classifications and kind of find out inside that tank area was class 1 div 2, 5 foot around the opening was class 1 div 1, and then everything outside there was unclassified.
That's right.
So we would have went and did all this extra work and did all this extra expensive parts and stuff if I wasn't smart enough to question that classification.
Sure. You got to learn how to do classifications. You know, I remember when I was chief electrical inspector for the city of Grapevine, and we went out there, they called me out there specifically to go in and look at classification that they had out there. And it wasn't as extreme as what the engineer was saying. I had to explain it to him. He was like, oh, no, it's got to go. I said, no, it doesn't. And then when I started explaining, he didn't even know all this. He was just a regular engineer. He really did not know hazardous locations, you know.
Right.
And I always say this, hazardous locations it's different animal. So you have to really learn a lot about it. Now, as you look at this talks about the Class 1 Division 2 boundary, and it says on either side within what? 10 foot of the boundary. Okay?
Right.
Then you come in and you start picking up some exceptions here. And it says, if you have a metal conduit that contains no unions, couplings, boxes, or fittings that passes completely through a Division 2 location with no fittings installed within 12 inches of either side of the boundary, you don't need a seal. Okay? Then it tells you here, you got a conduit terminating in an unclassified area where the metal conduit transitions to cable tray, cable bus, ventilated busway, cable, blah, blah, blah. Not installed in any cable tray or raceway system shall not be required to have a seal. And that's where it's passing from what? A Division 2 location into an unclassified. Then it gives you some of the following conditions there you follow. But what I just want to do is just point out the general rule is 10 foot. There are some exceptions to the rule here that everybody can look at as it deals with conduit seals, and it talks about them where they're underground or above ground. Okay? So I'm not going to go through everything because that wasn't really the question, but I wanted to be able to put the text here. Anybody that's coming back and they're reviewing this Myth of the Week, they can come in here and see what the exceptions to the rule are, what section it come in from the code, which is 501.15b. Okay.
Looks like we got Adam up in the house.
Hey, Adam.
Welcome in, Adam. Vibing with SOS tonight.
What up, guys?
Awesome, brother.
Yeah. I got my pickle shot tonight, so I came prepared.
All right, you ready to get kicking on the Willie Quiz? Because it's 8 o'clock.
Yeah, and Daniel might pop in too. Daniel said
I'm not going to do a topic of the week because I spent most of my time tonight going through the learning management system, which was basically 45 minutes. So
everyone's excited. It's pretty cool. Adam James is dropping his new learning management system, and it was just showing all the features, what it could do and stuff. It's pretty cool. So I think what happens, James, is so you showed like something last week. So then what happens is the competition goes and makes something better. Then now you made it better this week, so now they're gonna make it something better. So
good luck.
So I think that's what's gonna happen. But
I've seen all the different ones that are out there and everything, and I can tell you intuitively that system I got going now, there's so many links back and forth, you get to it quick and everything. If you just want to go over there when I get it up and just review everything, you can go in, we show you the illustrations, and eventually for each one of those I'll come in and I'll put a video clip to show you what the video is going to look like for each one of those that we're doing. So
you should see how dope this is, Adam. Like he's got like lightning like going on in the background, like while the text is reading, and
I love
it's
this
crazy.
one of these days. Yeah, it'll be. I'm sure it's madness.
But
it's pretty cool looking because I put a lot of attention to detail just to the video, and I think a lot of people really going to enjoy the way it looks. But let's do the Willie Quiz, and then I'll show it at the end of the Willie Quiz so everybody can see it again.
Okay.
You ready for the Willie Quiz? Let's kick it off.
Do it. Yeah, Daniel up in the house. Awesome.
Hey, Danielle.
Daniel. Nope.
All right. What is it on this
Awesome.
week? I'm just curious.
We're doing the Hartford Whalers. Big shout out to Viking. I forgot my Hartford Whalers hat. I might have to go grab it real quick after we do it. But
Go grab it. We'll wait. Go grab it.
Oh, yeah?
me this hat. Yeah, go grab it. We'll talk about you while you're gone.
all right, you can do that.
Talk a bunch of crap about him.
I'll see if Cesar Blanco maybe wants to join this quiz this week.
All right. What is the Hartford Whalers? Is that a hockey team or something?
I don't remember. The Hartford Whalers. It sounds like a hockey team.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It sounds like a hockey team. It's up in
Yeah.
Hartford, Connecticut.
I think
Let me Google
I
it.
guess they're out of Connecticut, right? Hartford, Connecticut.
sounds like
is that right?
Yeah, it sounds like a hockey team.
This is one I had no freaking idea. I'll be guessing at everything. I don't know anything about Hart. I'd never even heard of them. So, were they even an NHL team, or is this a?
I think it's like an older hockey team, I believe.
Yeah, they.
Oh.
I just looked it up. They went out in 1997, but
Mm.
they were an NHL team.
Oh, okay.
Like 20
Yeah.
years or something.
Okay, I'm cool with that. Oh, hey Adam, let me show you the video. Oh, he's back. Okay. There's
All right,
There's his hat.
Oh, yeah, there's the hat
Yeah.
right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
got the Hartford Whalers rolling.
All right.
All right. Well, hopefully, everyone has an easy time on the test. Oh, there's Cesar.
Ooh.
Awesome.
Cesar's in the house, baby.
Welcome in, Cesar.
What's
All
that?
right, so we got some Texas vibing tonight. All right, let's go ahead and roll.
All right, here we go. Let's see what the first question is.
All right, question number 1. What year were the Hartford Whalers established? Was it A, 1972, B, 1975, C, 1979, or D, 1982? Good luck, everyone. All right, so Daniel's jumping on C. John Reitz is going B, 1975.
Well, I have no freaking clue on this, but I think I will.
I think the pickle jar is telling me, what's that? 1972. Okay.
Is it? I have no freaking clue, man. No, I don't know anything about freaking Hartford Whalers. It's not. You could have picked a subject that knew something. Is that a question on the Hartford Whalers?
I know this one. So we have the association. Yeah, that's what it's called. Which was formed, but I know that it still existed with the NHL up until 1979, and the Hartford Whalers were one of those teams. So I would say A, 1972. That's when they were established.
All right, sounds pretty confident there, James.
I'll go A.
All right, well, anyone who said A, you are correct. They were established in 1972. So So John's agreeing with
going, boy.
John's agreeing with you there, James.
All right. That's funny.
Question number 2.
All right.
Which league did the Hartford Whalers originally play in before joining the NHL? Was it the AHL? Was it WHA? Was it the ECHL? Or was it D, the CHL? Good luck, everyone. So everyone should know this one if they listen to the Willie Jackerson Experiment podcast, because I went over it pretty good in there. Daniel's going B, WHA. John Reed's going A, AHL.
That's interesting.
I think the force is strong with Daniel's guess.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. What
Daniel was going like really controversial last week.
Hockey Association?
I was 0 for whatever last week, I think.
I know. That was awesome.
I think I'll go B.
Of course,
James
this is
goes
rigged against me, so.
Oh man, King James copies Daniel this week.
I am on this one.
I'm going to be honest, and I'll confess after the answer reveal, but I will say BWHA, and after reveal, I will make a confession.
Okay.
The WHA.
What do you got, Caesar?
And Caesar's going B, right?
Yeah, I think
Everybody's going B. Oh, okay.
So I can't really remember this one exactly, but I believe that the correct answer is B, the WHA.
Yeah, I accidentally gave that one away last question without knowing that this was going to be the question.
Yeah, I was
Well, that's
starting
what I
to
was
question
listening to
myself.
what you said in the last one. I was like, hey, that's not
Yeah.
Western Hockey League.
Yeah, so John Reed's got it at the last minute. He went to B.
Okay.
So, oh yeah, that's awesome. Yep, they were the WHA. So they were actually really successful in the WHA too. All right, question number 3. What was the name of the Hartford Whalers home arena? Was it the Civic Center? A, the Civic Center. Was it B, the XL Center? Was it C, Hartford Arena? Was it D, the Whale Coliseum? Or was it E, the Hartford Group Arena HGA? Good luck, everyone. See, I told you this was gonna be easy, James.
You know, I've guessed at every one of them. I followed Adam on the first, and then I followed Daniel on the. Okay, I'll go first this time. All right, let's see. I'm gonna go with E.
You go with E, the Hartford Group. That's a really good answer, actually, James.
Well, I was thinking it because I've heard of the Hartford group back then.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, that sounds like somebody had sponsored that.
I know, right? Daniel's going A, Civic Center. Oh, no, that's John Reed's. John Reed's going A, Civic Center. Daniel's going A, Civic Center.
I'll be honest, I have no idea. Out of all of these 5 stadiums or arenas, I have no idea. Civic Center sounds like it could be a Honda sponsor center for some reason.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Hartford Arena, but I don't know. I think that. Okay, here's a quick backstory. So back in 1972, they were located in Boston before moving to Hartford, Connecticut. So I think they were located in the Boston Garden then, but they were low in the priorities for scheduling. I'm gonna take a wild guess and say a Civic Center. I'll have to confirm with my friend Meet.
I think I'm gonna go with B on this one.
B, XL Center.
Mm.
All right.
All right. I think we have all the answers in. So, King James, if you were going to have like a second answer, what would it be? The correct answer is A, Civic Center. Oh, awesome. It was so funny. I couldn't believe you took the bullshit answer, James. I was like, yes, I got him, because I just made that one up at the end,
I couldn't think of any. I don't know. I didn't know anything.
I thought it was funny because I always try to get the bullshit answers that, like, something you've heard of, because we've done, I think on the podcast, we had a Hartford group on one of our answers for the insurance company that sponsored the National Electric Code. I think it was the Hartford group that actually sponsored the first National Electric Code. But, all right, well, good answers, everyone.
Ahead of the time, whenever they were naming that sounds like something that would be named at the earliest, like the late 90s or something. Maybe I'm thinking too much of the Honda Center. Maybe that's why I think so.
Oh, true. Yeah, I guess the roof caved in one day, so they had to rebuild it. Question number 4. Who was the Hartford Whalers' all-time leading scorer? Was it A, Pat Verbeek? Was it B, Ron Francis? Was it C, Kevin Dineen? Was it D, Ray Ferraro? Or was it E, Mark Howe? Good luck, everyone.
All right. I only know one name on there, and that's E. So I'll go E.
Mark Howe?
Mark Howe. It's the only name I know.
I think for me, I'll go with B, Ron.
Ron Francis. Looks like Daniel's taking B.
I know only 2 people out of this choice of list. Ray Ferraro, he's a ESPN analyst, with Sean McDonough, and they just finished covering the Stanley Cup. And Ron Francis, well, I don't know him, but I've heard of him. Let's see what Meep says. Which one do you think? Is it Ron Francis?
John Reitz goes B.
Ray Ferraro. Which one is it? I'll go with B, Ron Francis. Final answer.
Do we have your answer yet, Adam?
Yeah, I went with Ron as well. B.
Ron Francis.
Looks like I got this one wrong.
All right, James. So if you were to have a second answer, what would you... So the answer is B. Ron Francis. It's like everyone except King James got that one right.
I think the only name I recognized on there.
The thing that was crazy was that Gordy and Mark Howell both came over from the minor league and joined them in the NHL. So, and it was crazy because I was watching some of the highlights. They were showing a little bit of highlight reels when I was doing my podcast, and they had this one where they passed over to Gordie Howe, and he ripped his backhand and just scored from like the blue line. It was just incredible. I couldn't believe it. It just made it look so effortless, you know. And the goalie was so mad because he just didn't see it until the last second, and it was already top corner. But it was just a ridiculous backhand. I couldn't believe it. He just kind of tossed it, you know, on his backhand and scored. It was ridiculous. So that was kind of cool to see Gordie Howe in action. That was the first time. But question number 5: in what year did the Hartford Whalers relocate and become the Carolina Hurricanes? Was it A, 1995? Was it B, 1996? Was it C, 1997? D, 1998? Or E, 1999? Good luck, everyone. This one's pretty much like Daniel's going C, 1997. John Reed's going C, 1997.
I know everybody's going C, and I know why too.
Yeah, it was kind of given away. I was kind of bummed when I heard it in the beginning, but
oh, you heard Daniel say that in 1997.
yeah, so. Kind of a freebie for everyone. So the last question, everybody gets a win. C, 1997.
I can't believe I got 3 of those.
Yeah. So it was pretty cool. I tried to get James a little off on, and I was just so glad you picked my bullshit answer, man. I tried hard to put in at least one that fools you. You know, it's a lot of fun doing these. And as tradition has it, my end of the quiz pickle shot for Adam.
Oh yes, my.
Pickle juice, but water. H2O. Cheers.
Are we doing it? Oh, yep.
I jumped the gun a little on you, Adam.
Don't worry.
No, awesome. Thanks for joining us. That's so awesome that you guys come in, hang out with us every week. And like I say, anyone's welcome to hang out and join us for the rest of the show. Like I say, we're not doing a topic, but what do we have next? We have the code question. We have tool.
Let me show Adam. He wanted to see the.
Oh yes, I want to see this mentioned earlier.
A new paragraph has been added to 240.4b that states, the next, higher standard overcurrent device rating, above the ampacity, of the conductors, being protected, shall be permitted, to be used, provided, all of the following conditions, are met. Subdivision B1, states that, the conductors, being protected, are not part of, a branch circuit, supplying, more than one receptacle, for cord and plug connected, portable loads. Subdivision B2 states that the ampacity of the conductors does not correspond with the standard ampere rating of a fuse or a circuit breaker without overload trip adjustments above its rating, but that shall be permitted to have other trip or rating adjustments. Subdivision B3, the next higher standard rating selected, does not exceed 800 amperes. If the overcurrent protective device is an adjustable trip device installed in accordance with 240.4 B1, B2, and B3, it shall be permitted to be set to a value that does not exceed the next higher standard value above the ampacity of the conductors being protected, as shown in Table 240.6a, where restricted access, in accordance with 240.6c, is provided. This revision recognizes and permits an adjustable overcurrent protective device, such as a circuit breaker, to be used, provided the protection does not exceed the next higher standard overcurrent device rating. The last sentence is modified for compliance with the NEC style manual, and to clarify that all of 240.4b applies. A revision has been made to clarify that an adjustable overcurrent protective
Okay, that's good enough.
Oh, Cameron jumped in. Oh, what's up, Cameron? Sorry, brother. I wished I had a way to send you the link while I was live. I just didn't know how I could do it.
Yeah, what I could do going forward is once you send me the link, I could just send it out to anyone that's interested of joining.
Yeah, and I'm fine with that. It's a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. Oh, look who we have, James. It's Gopher Fan. Oh man. Too bad we don't care what you say there, Gopher Fan.
Well, you should look at the comments, Gopher Fan, because everybody disagrees with you.
Yeah.
You got haters. That's all it is.
Yeah.
And,
True.
He's got to back up his boy Ryan and Mike and all of them. He simps for them, and everybody knows it now. So
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll
That's
come on
funny.
and say, "You show me proof of that." That's proof. Everybody sees how you comment on everything.
Yeah.
That's proof
It's
enough.
so funny. He says that we're too scared to have people and debate, and we had him on our show in a debate. You know what I mean? It's like all right, whatever. But
well, you know what? It makes that comment, but you've got the new NEC text highlighted in yellow. That's change made. Then you got the first revision from the code-making panel substantiation. You got the code-making panel substantiation for the second revision. Then you get a final analysis that has the illustration there, and then the video, when it gets put in the learning management system, you can actually click the sections and see what it says and any additional information we have, and then it stops the video when you're doing that. I've never seen that in any other program.
it's pretty dope, dude. I love the lightning in the background while it's reading it.
Like the sound effect too, like the it's also like
yeah. Pretty cool. All right, well let's
This
roll
is
the
what
tool,
happened.
James.
Y'all pay attention. I like it. I don't care what he thinks.
Yeah. All right, let's roll the tool.
All right, see what you got.
It's time for Tool Review of the Week. Sponsored by Electrician's Only Tool Review and Nipex Tradesman. All
All right. The reason I wanted to run this tool this week is because there's been a lot of really good deals going right now with Klein. There's a lot of places that are like getting rid of Klein, and they're changing over to like Lowe's and to like different stores. And like I say, this level, Daniel knows about like the no dog clubs where you have to have like the no dog, and you put it on your hard hat, walk around with your no dog all the time, so you act like you're a pipe work guy. But that's what I do like about this, is it has the no dog on there, you know. And Daniel really is a fan of this level, and yeah, Daniel, I really like it. I actually have two. I have the Klein like this, and then I have my Empire. And I mostly use my Empire because I like to beat it up, and then if I have to do like some complicated stuff like with 30 degree, 45 degree, then you just break this baby out, and it makes it really nice. Like it was really funny, and I don't know if I told you about this, James. I was working at one of the jobs, and I bumped into a guy who used to work with Daniel, and he's like, "Oh, hey, I want to go back to that company." And I was like, "Really? Why?" He goes, "Oh man, I want to work with Daniel. He's like the best piper. He's the best at running conduit at that company, you know." And I was like, "Oh yeah, guess who taught him?" You know. So it's pretty funny. But yeah, that meant a lot. And like I say, the thing that's nice about this level, and John Reitz, the thing I like about it is the magnets are really strong. It has 45 degree, 30 degree, 90 degree, plumb. So the thing I like about this level is that it's really nice to use with the second level, because you can do that for like your angles, and then you could just check your dog. You could check your different stuff with it. But like I say, out of all of the levels out there, and oh, look who we have jumping in. It's Worm Bros. What up, brother? Awesome. Thanks for hopping in. I appreciate it. But overall, this is one of the better Klein products. A lot of people talk crap about Klein, and like I say, out of all the Klein products, I think this is one of their better products.
Awesome.
So,
all right.
That's the tool review of the week.
Nice.
All right.
So then I always slip in a question, try to get James, and I don't know that I'm gonna get you this week. This one's pretty easy.
Let's see what it is. GFP and GSI shall not be. Oh, you can't recondition them. Yeah, that's that 240.2 they added in the last cycle.
Yep, and the thing that's funny about it is that you can't recondition outlets either.
Yeah, that's going to be in the 2026, and I'm getting ready. I'm about to submit the comment stage, and I got a few things that I'm going to be adding. I'm going to get this thing clarified even further. And I noticed they haven't said anything. I actually went back and looked, and they went in, and there was some of them that they rejected. And the way I sort of read it, it's agreeing with what we've been saying. So, but I'm going to get further clarification on it. So
nice.
that did happen.
All right. And we got what, the Wall of Shame?
Yeah. One quick thing though.
Yes.
When the first thing that I thought when I heard GFCI was Electro Boom. Electro Boom is like this YouTube channel from Canada where, for example, one time he was playing a guitar and it electrocuted him, and he was like, and he's really popular. He's got a couple million viewers, and he was talking about GFCI as well. So that's one of the things that I'm also interested in about. Oh,
nice.
And in case you didn't know, my recent physics class covered, electric charge, energy. Not sure how to describe it in detail, but basically volts, potential charge or potential energy, or electric potential, all those things. And
nice.
I really need to.
So So do
We
you
actually
know?
have, we did on one of the podcasts where I go in and explain the electrical theory and go through capacitance, inductance, capacitive reactance, inductive reactance. I go through all that, and I go through the amps, volts, resistance, and go through impedance and all of that, and explain the calculations and theory behind it.
So do you know what the 4 to 6 milliamp threshold is for, Cesar?
4 to 6 million amp threshold.
No, it's milliamp.
Or milliamp.
Yeah.
I
So basically, that's going to be your Class A device, and that's actually your let go threshold. So Joseph DeLille actually did research to figure out where humans are able to let go of, like when they get hung up, and they actually are unable to let go beyond 4 to 6 milliamps. So anything over 4 to 6 milliamps, they're unable to let go. It grabs them, and they are unable to let go of the shock.
That's
Oh,
correct.
yeah.
I'll tell you the story on it. That was done at Cal Berkeley, and what they were doing is having now this is back a long time ago, but the college students were coming in and they were paying them to do this testing, and basically they were paying them money. I guess it's their beer money, dope money, whatever, and they were shocking them to see how long they could stay on it.
Oh my God.
That's true. I read the documentation on that. I was like, God dang, you really hard up some money. Let somebody say
Yeah.
this out your ass.
That happened, yes.
Yeah.
All right, so what do we got? Wall of Shame?
Yep.
Let's go.
Roll it
Well,
out.
shame, let's go.
All right.
Shame. 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 Shame.
All right, you're going to love this one, James. Freshly picked
I
out
am.
of the shame department.
Let's see.
Oh, boom! We got
Oh.
we got the split lug. The split lug, tape it up. So and that was from Grayson. He's one of our top contributors over there at Wall of Shame. So I appreciate the Wall of Shame picture, Grayson. But dude, have you ever seen this, Daniel? Have you ever seen that trick before?
No, I've never seen that one.
I think they've had ones where they've done it in the ground bar, where they went and they took like a 2-aught and then they just like split it up, all the strands into the ground bar. So like they didn't have a add a lug, so they just went and took like a 2-aught and just split it up like that into the lugs.
Wow.
But that's a pretty good one, Grayson. I appreciate you sharing that. But what do you think, James? You ever seen that?
Oh yeah, top of the line works. What it is.
He's all James. Oh, I've seen everything.
It reminded me. I remember one time I just got back in from teaching a class. I've been gone for almost a month, and I was up in Alaska for 3 weeks, and then I came back and stopped off in where did I start? I think I was in Phoenix, if I'm not mistaken. Then I came home. My wife picked me up early that morning, and I was like, "All right, I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna get everything packed. I'm going to the golf course. I just need to get away by myself. Didn't want nobody bothering me." And so we're pulling in our subdivision, and right to the right they had like this thing, and then there was like where all this water sort of shot up, and they had like this little thing. It ran down in the pool up front. They were out there working on it. She goes, "Oh, hey," she goes, "I forgot to tell you, when you get home, you need to come up here and look, they're having problems. They can't figure out what's going on." And I was like, it was at that point I realized anybody that lived in a subdivision, we moved in a new one, I didn't tell them what I did for a living. I just told them I lived off my dad's money. I didn't want them coming off asking me to go look at stuff all the time. So I was like, man, I don't want to go down there. So I went down there, and I actually knew the contractor and journeyman that were there. And they had all kinds of stuff opened up. And I went in and I looked, and what they had done, I saw where the wire had melted where it was coming in, and the connection was loose. And so I went in there and I just grabbed it and made sure I wasn't touching anything. I just cranked it down tight, and I walked out there. I said, all right, check it, and now let's see if everything's working, because they were getting they wasn't getting the amperage they needed. That's because of that loose connection. And
Wow.
Everything was working. They go, what'd you do? And so I went over there and I showed them. I said, if you ever look and you see this melting, I said, that's a loose connection. And so then, I mean, I wasn't down there more than 10 minutes. Came back to the house, said, all right, I fixed it. She goes, there ain't no way you did that in 10 minutes. I said, oh, yeah, it's done. So I'm going to the golf course, and I lived right next to the clubhouse, so I just had to walk behind the wall there, walk over, and went over there. She literally drove up to the place to see if I even showed up and if it was corrected. Can you believe
That's
that crap?
funny.
And Dad goes, well, hell, don't you know anything, son? Your wife always thinks you're the dumbest person in the world. I said, that's about the truth of it.
No, Daniel knows. We call that getting married up. Like anytime somebody's like, "Oh, hey, I need some work at my house," and then you're like, "Oh yeah, it's just hook up this like disconnect, and then, hey, while you're here, can you just I need an outdoor outlet too, and then I really got some new porch lights. Can you check out the porch lights while you're here?" And then it's just like you're just married up.
Do it all for free.
Oh, dude. Worm Brothers knows about that, dude. We call it married up, putting on that wedding ring.
It's amazing. They'll volunteer you for everything. Shit.
Yeah. Yeah, and we really appreciate John Reed showing up. Yeah, and I do like Electro Boom too. He's pretty funny. He cracks me up. Like, I remember there was one where he was trying to like sit on something or something, and then he like once he turned it on, it like started going. Then he like got up and he was like trying to run, and it was all stuck to him, and so it's like all melting. He's trying to like run away.
I remember that. Was it when he was trying to make like a heater for like a seat?
Yeah, like a seat heater or something.
Yeah.
He was just
the wire was like.
It just like instantly like started glowing and catching on fire, and he like got up and he's like, ah! And it was all stuck to him. He's funny, but the whole thing is too, Cesar. There's like different applications for GFCIs. That's why in the question it's mentioned like GFCI and GFPE. So GFCI has that threshold of 4 to 6 milliamps, and then GFPE has a threshold greater than, it's usually about 30 milliamps up to 100 milliamps. And anytime you're in like a boatyard or something, when you're doing like your electrical engineering, what you're going to do is you're going to selectively coordinate that circuit to where you have your GFCI for your personnel protection on the dock area. Then when you have that shore power or the shore power outlet, then you're going to go to GFPE, and then you're going to selectively coordinate your feeders to the 100 milliamp when you start to get out to your feeder panels and stuff that's out by that boatyard, marinas and stuff like that. So it's just stuff that we try to geek out on, me and James, when we're doing stuff and just having fun hanging out with y'all, and it's really awesome. Thanks for hanging out with us. I really appreciate it, Adam. Thanks so much for jumping in. We love vibing with the old Team SOS over there, and vibing with the old Gypsy, getting the old Texas connection together. And like I say, we had Worm Brothers jump in. Appreciate Worm Brothers. We had John Reese jump in. It means a lot, and it's just so much fun doing these and going through our segments real quick. And like I say, we didn't even hit 2 hours, James, and we got through the whole show.
Yeah. Well, we're always an hour and a half or more. When we first started, we'd say we're going to go an hour, and it's an hour and 15 minutes, an hour and 10. Then we had another segment. Next thing you know, we're at an hour and 15 to an hour and a half. Next thing you know, we had another. Now we're an hour and a half or more. It's just one after
Next thing you know, he's got his dad over there doing this to him.
Oh yeah, go eat. So.
That's so much fun, but I don't know if you guys got anything else, any other messages. Feel free to shout out any of your live streams you have coming up. I know Cesar's doing news.
Hey Daniel, what did you think of the learning management system? Honestly,
Think about what?
the learning management system.
I thought it was pretty cool, man. Like, it looks like took some time to put that together. It was.
Oh yeah, it does. I always like to get feedback, from everybody if they see something they like different or something, because I always look to put everything I can in and improve it to the umpteenth, is the best I can do it, and I think I'm pretty close to having everything.
I was gonna ask you what's the hours requirement for journeyman in Texas? Is it 8,000 or 7,000?
It used to be 8,000.
I heard it was 7. I'm not
They
sure.
might have moved it down. It used to be,
true.
when I was going through it was 8. I haven't looked in so long. When I remember when I came out of high school, I started working at 14 in the summers for my grandfather. And then when I got 16, which was the start of my junior year, then I worked half a day in ICT, which was industrial cooperative training. And I worked half a day, but during the summers, I worked 40 hours. And when I went through the apprenticeship, starting at 8 after I graduated, they went back all the hours and stuff I'd worked through the years. They gave me 2 years credit. And then after 2 years of apprenticeship, I took my journeyman test and passed it at the age of 20. And then at 22, I had to go 2 years as a journeyman. Then at 22, I was a master. So, and I think back then I was the youngest journeyman ever in the state of Texas and the youngest master ever in the state of Texas.
Hey, could we say that all Texas masters are glorified ditch diggers?
Well, according to Jeremy, anybody in Texas is a glorified ditch digger. So, I wonder, I don't know if that just pertains to electricians or other trades too.
So I was telling King James about this because we had Paul Abernathy saying that he won the Mike Holt's Top Gun against like top educators, and he didn't say what the educators were, and so I wanted to see if you were on board with me, Daniel, for me to put on my bio that I was top of my class 1997 in IEC. Do you think that would boost up my resume or something? I got highest grade in my class.
Might have to pull up the archives at IEC and find out the truth about that. show my transcript. Yeah.
Well, it's like I was
go call him right now.
saying the other day, the Top Gun, when it first started, it was actually started by Joe McPartland. He was riding with EC&M, and he was the one putting it together. And they had a few that were going to be in it, and Dad got in it. And then Mike, all of a sudden, he didn't want to do that. Mike Holt wanted to be the moderator. And Joe McPartland said, no, I'm the moderator. And then Mike said, I'm not interested. And years later, I guess Mike took the name Top Gun and used it based off what was going to be done by Joe McPartland and EC&M. And I know that 1,000% because Dad was actually going to be one of the ones that participated in it, and a bunch of them dropped out, and it never happened. So,
and I thought it was funny because like Mike actually he didn't say much on. I tried to do research to try to see like if there was a Top Gun competition, and like nobody on the Mike Holt forum said anything about that they have a Top Gun competition or anything. Like they said, no, we've never heard about that or anything. So I just thought it was funny. Like supposedly won it in 2007, I think.
Yeah.
It was just funny.
That's the truth behind it, and I know that 100%. That's exactly how it happened.
So, Cesar, do you have any episodes coming up soon?
Maybe tomorrow. I haven't thought about it, but perhaps. Also, speaking about Top Gun, I know that the original 1986 film, Kenny Loggins performs Danger Zone. I've heard that. I know Bryan Adams. He's a Canadian singer. He was one of the people who was supposed to perform that, but he dropped out since he was like, "I'm not going to glorify war. It's just not going to happen. I don't want to do any or have anything to do with this project." And then some other people probably were considered, and then they landed Kenny Loggins to perform Danger Zone.
Okay.
Well, Kenny Loggins has so many hits from so many different shows that he's done. I think he's done probably the biggest hits out there.
Yeah, you know what's funny about that, Cesar, is that I did a podcast about Top Gun Maverick, and it was so hilarious because they were really having to tread lightly on like what military, like who they were like going against, like who they were trying to stop. So like they couldn't really say if it was like China or Russia, or like they couldn't say a nation. So they're like, what kind of fighters are we going against? And they're all 5th generation, and they're like, no, like what nationality? And they're like 5th generation, like they wouldn't say like any of the nationality of anything. But it was just really funny. And I did a podcast called The Zombie Apocalypse, and I knew that the military actually trains for what they call zombie apocalypse, and I didn't understand what it was all about, but that's what they do. So they don't want to say it's China, they don't want to say it's Russia, they don't want to say they're training against like even Canada attacking the US. They just say we're training for zombie apocalypse, and then it's kind of a vanilla way of saying we're just training for anything, any kind of incursion or whatever. But it was pretty interesting.
North Korea?
Yeah, but they won't say, like, they can't say, so they just say North Korea zombie apocalypse, China zombie apocalypse, Russia zombie apocalypse, So they could just train for zombie apocalypse, and it's everything in their mind.
You all know me. If I were them, I would just say that we're training for the Gypsy of Mass Destruction.
There you go. See, I like it. That's awesome. I'll try to send that over. King James, he has some connections. King James, he kind of owes me a little, like 20 code changes from 2020. So, I don't know if you know this, James. It's getting compound interest on that. So we'll get squared up on that here pretty soon. Because when I took to Colorado, there was less code changes than was supposed to be in there. So. I don't know. We'll see how we square that up, James.
You get 24 hours on the next one too. I don't know what day I can get 24 hours.
Yeah. Nah, I really appreciate it, and like I said, I appreciate everyone joining. I bet you probably got to go get Dad some food and everything. I got my food getting ready, and. Thanks so much, you guys, for hanging out. You've been real troopers, hanging out for the whole show. And like I said, I will be turning this into a Spotify podcast. And like I say, it's a lot of fun just hanging out with you guys, and make sure you listen to the Willie Jackerson Experiment on Spotify and Nat King Code on Spotify.
Spotify.
All right. Well, let's wrap her up, call it an evening, and go get something.
I'll just continue on losing more weight. Oh, if you didn't know, well, I'm currently on a diet because in March I was in a clinic and they said that I was pre-diabetic. So I think I weighed 283, 284 pounds, and now I'm down to 232.6 last time.
All right. Good job. That's awesome.
I went on a diet last month, and I'll be a month come Sunday, and I've dropped about 18 pounds, and I've only been eating once a day. I'm gonna tell you, that's hard, boys. I only eat at night, but boy, I eat everything I can. Now I'm losing so much now I can't eat as much. I'm like, this sucks.
Yeah. Well, my dietitian is from Mexico, and he he prescribed me to eat 3 times per day. Well, 5 times, including snacks. So the first one is at 8 a.m., but of course I never wake up at 8 a.m., so I wake up at 10 or 11 and eat. And then at 11 or wherever, before 2 p.m., I eat my morning snack. And then at 2, I have my lunch, which consists of a salad and a meat. And then at 5 p.m., I have my evening snack. And then at 8, of course, right now I'm eating tuna. Of course, it could be something different, like tostada with frijoles or beans, or what else? The first one was cactus or nopales. I'm not sure if you know what they are, but it's kind of like edible cactuses.
I know what it is.
Okay.
I'm from Texas, baby. I know. It was funny the other day. I was over at this one place, and somebody told me about it, and I just went in there to check it out, and I was looking at what they had, and they had a taco bar that was there, and they actually had the pickled cactus, which I had not seen that at I won't say it's fast food, but they had that, and they had the pickled radishes, jalapenos, 4 different sauces, pico, cilantro, onions, everything and more what you want to put on that taco. And I was like, okay,
Hey,
I'm
I don't
gonna
know
get 3 of these tacos, and I've put all that stuff. Man, it was freaking awesome with that green sauce.
I don't know if you've heard this, Adam, but there's a question out there. If you're in Texas, do you put beans in chili?
Oh, yeah. So this guy was in my stream. Yeah, I'll let James go.
I've answered this before.
That's right.
Yeah.
A lot of Texans say, no, you don't do that. But I'm telling you, back, and I went and did research on this, and you go back when they started doing chili was on the cattle drives, and they put whatever they had in there. They put onions, tomatoes, jalapenos. They put everything. They even put potatoes in it back then. And that was where chili was actually developed. And of course, they always had beans, so they always put beans in it. And that is the real thing of chili. And it was on cattle drives. It wasn't a thing that no chili didn't have beans. I always believed it come from that Wolf brand chili where they had it with no beans, is where people started looking at it that way. But the real cattle drives and everything, they put whatever the hell they had there and put it in the chili to feed the guys on the cattle drive. So
we're thinking that was like an insurgent from New York or something that told Cesar that. It was not a real Texan. We're thinking it was an outsider that was pretending to be a Texan. He didn't know what he was talking about. So,
well, I'll say this: if you're eating hot dogs and chili cheese fries and stuff, no beans. If you're just eating chili, beans, corn, whatever you want to put in it, black beans, where it's up for grabs at that point, whatever you want to put in it.
All right.
That's the way I look at chili.
I've got this guy. I keep the receipts all the time. Here's the conversation. So, what is this channel all about? If you put beans in chili, is it still chili? You must be up north, Texas, and you put beans in your chili. Good thing my mom.
I do, and I'm born and raised here. So
Nice.
Nice.
Well, hey Adam, do you have any streams coming up soon?
I think well, this weekend I'm gonna go touch some grass. I'm gonna go camping, and so so nothing for me tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, or no, sorry, I think Sunday actually. I think Sunday I'll do some football, Canadian football, and then I think a bit of a break for Saturday and Sunday, and then Sunday should be a good go for me. And then what I'm thinking of, kind of inspired from this show too. It's like switching over to podcasting as well, just kind of talking, because I think the niche of the Team SOS channel, I think if it suits better, in my opinion, because I've always been more of a interaction with the chat kind of streamer. So I'm definitely going to give that a shot and see where it takes the Team SOS channel. But
nice.
so I was discussing with Cesar that I was thinking that I don't want to get rid of sports completely, but maybe I don't know, Monday to Thursday, Friday do podcasts, and then maybe the weekends could be for sports, and take it from there and see where.
Well, just to let you know, James, Adam, he's so cool. He actually goes out and yells out on his balcony to ask if any of his neighbors want pickle shots. I didn't think you had any takers, but that was really nice of you. I mean, he's gonna do it right now. He's gonna go.
I got one more comment on that. If I'm eating on hot dogs, chili fries, and all that, the meat, grease, and everything's all cooked together. If you're doing the other type of chili, you drain the grease and everything, then put all your ingredients and stuff in there and build up and have the chili like that. But if you ever look real chili they put on hot dogs and chili, there's always grease in it. Check and see. That's
my
dude,
mom,
none of my neighbors do that, Adam. That's so generous of you.
Hashtag sharing is caring, but in this day and age here, I don't know, people are a lot more to themselves. I'm sure back in your guys' day, people are a lot more social, interactive. But do you feel like in these days people are a lot more to themselves?
Not in Texas.
Not in Texas.
Everybody's friendly.
I live in kind of a quiet neighborhood. I kind of live in a quiet town, and we're pretty. I guess what you'd say kind of redneck, we're. I mean, we'll talk to each other and we'll talk over the fence and stuff, and stuff like that, like we used to do back in the days. But we kind of share the common interest. But then there's certain neighbors that I just don't talk to because they don't ever take my pickle shots either.
Yeah,
man.
You know what I mean? That's what it is.
So in my town, everyone I know is from high school, but they moved out from Port Lavaca, Texas, which is where I live. So I don't get to talk with them anymore. Not even on Snapchat, or maybe on Instagram I'll get a few. But for the most part, they're just distant memories. But those who do remain here in Port Lavaca, sometimes I find them at, say, HEB, which is a grocery store. I know King James would know that.
HEB is the best grocery store out there.
Yeah. And then I tell them, hey, why don't you join Team SOS? Of course, no pressure, but I really want to see them there because I want to reunite every single classmate that I've had. And in my reunion, if we do a high school reunion, I'm going to tell everyone to join Team SOS so we can be connected anytime, anywhere.
We got to do the high voltage station too. Everyone's got to be included in the best of our ability. So, I would say teamwork makes the dream work. So, I would definitely, even Rising Rhino, even Moss Sports Road, Cesar Blanco too. Also, does content now. So, rise to the top.
Dude, our last stream, I think like when I woke up in the morning or something, like it was at like 88 views or something. You know, I was like, wow, it was cool just to see everyone jumping in, having fun, getting the Willie Quiz, laughing at King James picking the bullshit answers.
Yeah, I know. It's definitely a great feeling when you finally start seeing that progression and results. It's such a great feeling. Whatever you're grinding towards.
I agree. Well, I know you want to get going eating, James, and like I say, I appreciate all our guests for joining. Like I say, I'll send the link, and I apologize to Cameron. I wish he could have joined. I didn't have a way to send that link when he was asking for it. He said he sent his email, so maybe I'll get his email down, and then I could send it out so you don't have to, Adam, next week.
I think YouTube kind of censors comments if they contain either offensive content, or I don't think that's what he did, but they do censor emails, I think.
True. I think you're right.
It's kind of...
I'm not able to send links. I think you can only send links unless it's from YouTube.
Well, only mods can do it, unfortunately. It's not just here or there. It's a YouTube thing. They say because they need to prevent spam and stuff, and with also the sex bots in, say, the football streams, that gets out of hand. And so...
Yeah. Well, we're also on Grindr, or on Rumble. We're on LinkedIn Live, Facebook Live, Rumble Live, and YouTube Live. So if you want to send us a message over on Rumble, we could get it over there too. So I really appreciate you putting together that Rumble stream, James. I know it's a little bit harder and a little bit of a pain, but that's why it takes us a while to send out the link.
Yeah, there's a lot to do. It ain't like, you remember the first time we did it, I did it wrong. And I was like, man, I thought I had that right. So I went back researching more and more and more. And I was like, oh, I've got to do it get this in and do this. It's like a 3-step process for me to get the thing put over and coded in to StreamYard. And then I can start doing all the rest of it. So, but
nice. Well, I appreciate everyone hanging out. We had a great night, great show. Thanks so much. And we like vibing with y'all. And we hope y'all have an easy day tomorrow. Because remember, make every day an easy day.
Amen. Tomorrow's Friday. Weekend's coming. So everybody have a good weekend. And just remember, we're only a month away from football season. It's about time to get it on. We'll be having some discussions on that on here. That'll be fun.
There you go.
All
right, fellas.
Any early bold predictions of who will be the Super Bowl champions? The next one.
Oh, don't even say Cowboys, James.
Cowboys.
Jerry Jones, I don't know what he's doing to us fans. Oh my goodness.
All right, we'll have to save that for the next podcast.
I do like the Cowboys, but the Longhorns is really my team. So they start spring practice next week, and they just did their SEC media days, and they said, is the Longhorns already the most hated team in the SEC? They said you got Alabama and Georgia that are hated, and Florida. And they said now Texas is there, and there was such a buzz about Texas being there. And I love our coach. Our coach kind of said, it is what it is. He goes, we're coming in to win the championship. He just told him we're coming in to win the SEC championship this year. I was like, I don't know if I'd have said that at first press conference. I was like, but he just told him, he goes, we have a better team than we had last year. He's already said that at the thing, and I was like, well, hell, that's pretty good, because last year you went to the playoffs, and this year, don't they go 8 teams this year? I think it's 18 playoffs. So. College football is going to be freaking awesome this year, because, I mean, when you get in the later season, if you've a lot of teams might have lost 1 game or maybe 2, they still got a chance to make that 18 playoff. Fans are going to be watching more and more games this year because teams have a chance to get there. You know, I think it's going to be freaking awesome. I think it's going to be better than the pro playoffs. I think the college playoffs are going to be. I think it's going to generate probably more fans than the NFL does. Because there are a lot of college fans, man, that love college football.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I do want to have a big shout out to everyone who smashed that like button tonight. Make sure to smash that like and subscribe. Appreciate you all subscribing. And Bridget jumps in at the last minute. But thanks a lot, Bridget. She adds a lot to the show. So you all have a good night, and we'll see you all next week.
Yep.
All right, everybody, have a good weekend. See y'all next week.